परमेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Just a minute. नमामि गौडपादञ्च शङ्करं श्रीसुरेश्वरं स्वामिनं सच्चिदानन्दमिन्द्रं तं ज्ञानरूपिणे. Om Om Om. Today is Sugama. So we were discussing pramana vyavahara, or the entire vyavahara is within Adhyasa. Without Adhyasa, what happens? There is only one Atma. The one Atma cannot do any Vyavahara. That's all simply says. The very simple, you see, there would not have been Vyavahara without Adhyasa. Since there is Vyavahara, Adhyasa is already there. So, that there is Adhyasa running through all our Vyavahara, underlying all our Vyavahara, is what he is trying to point out. Running through all our Vyavahara is Adhyasa. Okay. I read it again. Evam tavat idam upapaditam. So far it was explained that indriya vyaparam vina na pratyakshadi vyavaharaha siddhyati. Without indriya vyapara, without using the sense organs, vyapara means using. Without using sense organs, no perception. That means perception necessarily involves the use of sense organs. Indriyani cha swadhishtanam deham akshipanti. And sense organs need necessarily body. Okay? Sense organs mean perception. And sense organs necessarily need body. Okay. Atmani vyaparascha indriyadishthana bhuta dehasya adhyastatmatam apekshate. Now, perception requires sense organ. Sense organs necessarily require body. And body can exist only during Adhyasa. Body can exist only in Adhyasa. Without Adhyasa, neither there is body nor there is no body, that's all. So perception needs sense organs. Sense organ need a body. And the body and sense organs both, body and sense organs are found in the Atma only in the wake of Adhyasa. Indriyadhishtana bhuta dehasya adhyastatmatam apekshate. And these body and sense organs need an identification with the Atma. You must have the sense of I upon the body and sense organs. Without that, body cannot function, or body cannot belong to the Atma. Body belongs to the Atma only during Adhyasa, only under Adhyasa you find it. Atha mabhut indriyanam vyapara. Okay, you may say, let there be no sense organs. Let there be no sense organs, and let there be no superimposition upon of the Atma Adhishtanasya Adhyastata, and no body not being superimposed upon the Atma. Body not superimposed upon the Atma, no sense organs, no body being superimposed upon the Atma. If they were not there, what would be the condition? Tadvara Atmani Vyaprutattvam va. Then body and sense organs function only when they are superimposed upon the Atma. Functioning of the body and sense organs means entire world. It is through sense organs alone there is perception. Perception alone shows the entire world. Then the body is necessarily required for identification, or there is an identification, or there is an Atma imposed upon the body, that is individuality. Sense of individuality only through body. Sense of Jivatvam only through the body. Therefore, we need, for the world to appear, perception required. You have to start with this way. World exists only with perception. Perception requires sense organ. Okay. And sense organs require body. And this body and sense organs need to be superimposed upon the Atma. Okay? Upon the Atma. If they were not superimposed, then what will be? He says, Kim tavata anishtam, supposing if there are no sense organs, no body, and no adhyasa of indriya and deha upon the Atman, let there not be, so what? He says, if they were not there, tatrottaram, Bhashyakara replies, nachaitasmin sarvasmin nasati asangasyatmanah pramatrutvam upapadyate. In the absence of this adhyasa, there wouldn't be world and vyavahara, perception. I being an individual, perceiving the world, relating to the world, all these things don't exist for the Atman. That means Atma itself doesn't see the world, doesn't have the world, is not related to the world. That's what it means. Atma on its own, neither perceives the world, okay, nor relates to the world. That means no world, no relationship, in short. No jiva, no relationship. No jiva, no world. All this for what? For the pure Atman. For the pure Atman means without adhyasa. Atma, the bare Atma, or the pure Atma, on its own can neither be an individual, nor has a sense organs and body, nor can see the world. See, neither jiva, nor senses and the body, nor the world. All these things would not have been there. All these things wouldn't be there in the pure Atman. Pure or bare Atman, all these things don't exist, isn't it? Therefore, nachaitasmin sarvasmin nasati. When all this is not there, that means if there were no adhyasa, in the absence of adhyasa, there is only Atma, no world, no individual to look at the world and relate to the world, to experience the world. And for the world exists only under experience, for the jiva. So when jiva himself is not there, there is no entire avastha to the pure Atman. Okay. Pramatrutvam hi pramana vyaparayitritvam. Pramata is the one who uses sense organs. Means what? Pramata uses sense organs. One shouldn't think that. First there is Pramata. First Pramata, and then Pramata means Pramatru in Kannada. Pramata in Sanskrit. Okay. So first Pramata, then using of sense organs. Okay. One shouldn't think like that. First Pramata is there. He picks up the sense organs and uses them to be able to see the world. This one shouldn't think like that. This is wrong, because once there is a Pramatru, there is already sense organs, and Pramatru is related with the world. Pramatru, sense organs, and the world, all these three are one block. This I think I told already. Pramatru, senses, and the world perception, all these three together is one. So Pramatru uses Pramana, Pramata uses sense organs. It only means that the very Pramatru is always in the condition of using sense organs. Pramata, when Pramata is already in a state, Pramata itself means a state where he happens to be Pramata and is already associated with the sense organs, and through sense organs the perception is there. So all this is a one experience. Pramata, senses, and the world. These three put together is a one experience. There is no Purvapara Sambandha. One before and another later. No, they all simultaneously exist. These three, Tripurti we call. Pramatru, Pramana, Prameya. Pramatru, sense organs, and the objects. All these three is a one block, one experience. Therefore, Pramatrutvam hi Pramana Vyapara Yatrutvam. Pramata doesn't use senses. Very Pramatrutvam means being in a usage of senses. See, using the senses is different from being in the state, being in the usage of senses. See the Adhyasa. The very Pramatrutvam implies that he is already in the usage. Pramatrutvam means he is already using the senses and perceiving the object. It's not that first there is a Pramata, and second step he uses the senses. No. Without using senses, he won't become Pramata. Without using senses, there is no world. It is not that first there is a world and later you start perceiving it by using your sense organ. Because before you use sense organs, who is to know the world? There is no world. There is no world before you use sense organs. The world is perceived means sense organs are already there. You are already using them. You are already associated with them. Your senses are Adhyasta upon you. The Pramatrutvam, the individuality is already there. This is what it means. Therefore, Pramatrutvam hi Pramana Vyapara Yatrutvam. Tacha Asangasya Atmano Nopapadyate. Very Pramatrutvam means be in the usage of senses to know the world, to be related to the world. So the very Pramatrutvam implies senses are there and they are perceiving the world. So the world perception, that is senses, and the Pramatru, all the three are simultaneous. Okay. And Atma, if Atma is not associated with sense organs and mind, if Atma doesn't become a Pramata, then the world would not be seen. In the absence of Pramatrutvam, Atma remains free from Adhyasa. In that bare Atma, pure Atma, Anadhyasta Atma. Okay? Bare Atma, pure Atma, what do they mean? Adhyasa Rahita Atma. That Atma, that oneself, without imposing sense organs, mind and their functions upon the Atma, one doesn't become Pramata. When you don't become Pramata, you don't perceive the world also. It is the Pramata that perceives the world. But here is a Atma, here is a person who is neither Pramatru nor there is a Prameya. Therefore, Tacha Asangasya Atmano Nopapadyate Swataha. A pure Atman doesn't have Pramatrutvam. It is impossible to have Pramatrutvam. Therefore, Pramatrutvam hi Pramana Vyapara Yatrutvam. Tacha Asangasya Atmanaha Nopapadyate. And that would not be possible when Atma is alone. Alone means without Adhyasa. Asangasya we call. Asangasya means Anadhyasta. In the absence of Adhyasa, no Pramatrutvam, no Prapancha, no perception. When the perception is there, it means there is already Adhyasa. Because in the very nature of Atma, there wouldn't have been perception. If you have a perception, then you are already Jivatma, Pramatra. Asangatvam chuditiya samsarga ayogyatvam. So Atma is Asanga. In the absence of Adhyasa, Atma is Asanga. Asanga means, Swamiji defines, Dvitiya samsarga yogyatvam. Atma is not associated with anything other than oneself. When it is impossible to associate anything other than Atma, that is called Asanga. It is like mirror. Mirror is Asanga because it only reflects but doesn't get connected with the world. World is it is not connected with anything other than oneself. That is Atma. Asangatvam is Atma's natural state, which is not associated with anything else. Tacha upapaditam adasthat sanಕ್ಷೇಪೇಣ. ಇದು ಮುಂದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಮುಂದೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಏನದು? ಅಸಂಗ ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರವಿಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ನುವುದು ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆನೂ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಅಥ ಪ್ರಮಾತೃತ್ವ ಮಾಸ್ತು ಕಿಂ ಹೀಯತೆ. ಹಿ ಸೇಸ್ ಪ್ರಮಾತೃತ್ವಂ is required to be able to perceive the world. Pramatrutvam means to be in association with the sense organs, to identify with the sense organs. And then Purvapakshi says, Pramatrutvam mastu, why accepting Pramatrutvam? Let it not be there. Siddhanti says, no, that's not the way of talking. Nacha Pramatrutvam antarena pramana pravrittirasti. Without Pramata, there is no Pramana usage. Without Pramata, there is no Pramana usage. That means what? Sense organs can't see because there is nothing to see. There is nothing else to see. Therefore, Pramanani Svavishayeshu Pravartante Swayam Asamarthani Pravartakam Pramatarang Kankshante Ityuktam. ಪ್ರಮಾಣಾನಿ ಸ್ವವಿಷಯೇಷು ಪ್ರವರ್ತನೆ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಅಸಮರ್ಥಾನಿ pramanas on their own pramanani swavishayesu pravartane swayam asamarthani. Pramanas cannot know the external object on their own. That means they are inert. They need to be swayam asamarthani. Sense organs are by themselves are incapable. Swayam asamarthani. Pravartakam pramataram kankshante. Pramanas necessarily require pramata. In fact, this pramata, pramana, they are one block. Pramata cannot exist without pramanas. Pramanas cannot exist without pramata. They are together as a one in our experience, pramatru and pramana. Therefore, pravartakam pramatarang kankshante. Pramanas require somebody who uses them. Somebody who uses them. And one who uses requires sense organ. Without sense organs, using them also becomes impossible. Okay. Ato yamashrityatan pravarteran sachedatma pramatrutva rahitaha katham tat pravritti pratyashaya. See, yamashrityatani pravarteran. Depending on whose the pramanas function, perceptually, only keeping the pramatrutvam. Without pramata, they can't function. Nached atma pramatrutva rahitaha. And if atma is free from pramatrutvam, kritam tat pravritti pratyashaya. If atma is free from pramatrutvam, then atma can do nothing. It can't even sleep, it can't even walk, it can't even bless also. It can't do anything. Because sachedatma pramatrutva rahitaha. If atma is pramatrutva rahitam asangaha svatasiddha, then a pravritti using sense organs won't apply, won't exist. In Shuddha Atma doesn't use sense organs because it doesn't need it. Then there is no world. World is perceived only through pramatrutvam and senses. Okay. Nacha deha matramevalam pramatrutva nirvahaya. Body alone cannot constitute pramatrutvam. Supta dehasyapi pramana vyaparayitrutva prasangat. If body alone were enough to use sense organs, then what happens? Even dead body or sleeping body also. Whether the sleeping body and dead body also would start perceiving. Tadetat sarvam abhipretya. Keeping all this in view, sangraha vakya abhivitam. This was told in a brief statement, initial statement. Dehendriyadishaham mamabhimana rahitasya pramatrutva anupapattav pramana prameya vyapa pramana what that? Pramana pravritti anupapatte iti. Without the individuality, without Atma taking the identification of the body and sense organs, without that abhimana, pramatrutva anupapattav, pramatrutva is not possible. Pramana pravritti anuparodat. Pramana pravritti would not be there. Okay, going to the next point. Etavata granthena idam uktam idam upapaditam pramatrutva anyatha anupapattihi pramana pravritti anyatha anupapattischa pramananam sarvesham avidya purassaratvam baladanayati. See, pramatrutvam cannot be explained otherwise without pramanas, without perception. Similarly, pramana pravritti anyatha anupapattischa pramananam sarvesham avidya purasaratvam baladanaya. Then all the pramanas are due to avidya. Evam cha yadakshiptam katham punaravidyavat vishayani pratyakshadini pramanani. Okay. Now, how can Atma have pratyakshadi pramanas? In Shuddhatma, they should not exist because they don't exist. Pramatrutva anyatha anupapattihi, because the pramatrutvam cannot come into existence in any other way than using the sense organs. If it stops using sense organs, it doesn't exist. Okay. Therefore, pramatratva anyatha anupapattihi, pramana pravritti anupapatti, and the functioning of the pramanas also require a lie. Pramananam sarvesham avidya purassaratvam baladanaya. Then why do we say all the pramanas are due to adhyasa? Pramatrutvanyatanupapattihi pramana pravrityanyatanupapatischa pramananam sarvesham avidya purassaratvam baladanaya balat anayati. Nane tappodide. Sarvesham avidya purassaratvam balat anayati. एवं च यदाक्षिप्तं कथं पुनरविद्यावत् विषयाणि प्रत्यक्षादीनि प्रमाणानि तस्योक्तपरिहारत्वं मन्वान उपसंहरति. Therefore, without body and sense organs sticking to Atma, you would not be an individual and you would not perceive the world. Okay. Tasmat adhyasika pramatrutvam ashrityaiva pramana pravrittirupapattehe. Tasmat avidyavat vishayanneva pramanani. Pramanas are definitely within adhyasa. Tasmat adhyasika pramatrutvam ashrityaiva pramana pravrittirupapatte anyata anupapatte avidyavat vishayanneva mithyadhyasa kartavyapekshanya eva शास्त्राणि प्रमाणानि अन्यथा च अनुपपत्तेः अविद्याविषयाण्येव विद्या मिथ्याध्यासकर्तृव्यपेक्षा अन्यदेव प्रत्यक्षादीनि प्रमाणानि अध्यासकर्तव्य उपेक्षाण्येव प्रत्यक्षादीनि प्रमाणानि. Therefore, you can't reject pramanas. Pramanas are there. But Atma, by its very nature, is beyond. Therefore, the people who are listening, they should learn that all this adhyasa has come about only in your cell phone. Okay. I don't know. I was telling something. Oh, I got lost. Avidyavat vishayani. That means only when you superimpose upon yourself, the pramatru vyavahara happens. Without that in Atma, no vyavahara. This is what simply it is. Avidyavat vishayanneva mityadhyasa kartavyapekshanneva pratyakshadeni pramani. Shastrani cha tathaiva iti avagantavyam. Even the shastriya vyavahara, not only the perception, even the study of the shastra is also within adhyasa. Without adhyasa, no shastra. Na pravartitumutsahanте evam shastranyaphi pramanatva visheshat ityartaha. Because shastras are also pramana, whether karmakanda shastra or jnanakanda shastra. Both the shastras are pramanas. Pramanas require pramatrutvam, and pramatrutvam is adhyasta. Since pramatrutvam is not the nature of Atma, since pramatrutvam is only adhyasta, then all pramana, vyavahara, prapancha, everything must be adhyasta only. And not only that, all this is only in the wake of adhyasa. Without adhyasa, they are nothing. Nanucha evam pramadacha avidyavamscha pramanancha avidya purassarancha iti vyahata vachanatvam apatati. I think I am not able to speak. There is some uneasy. This pramana vyavahara is a very good thing. We will discuss later in the next class. This is about pramana vyavahara, pramana and avidya. Okay, this is a good point. Okay, we'll stop. We'll see again in the next class. We had a very small session. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.